Starting. Hello. Let's make sure we go live on all the places. It's always this awkward first minute while I wait to get the Instagram going. Okay. And then we get to do this.
Honey, hurry!
Hello and welcome to Mom Cave Live, where we may have lost our minds, but we haven't lost our sense of humor, at least not yet. And that's a good thing because our guest tonight is stand-up comedian. I'm going to bring her on. Ta-da! Candy Shaw. Hi, Candy.
Hi.
I just thought of something. Did you always used to get the pickup line like "You're so sweet, like Candy"? Did that make you want to kill people?
Yeah, and sometimes I do it to them when they tell me I'm sweet. I'm like, that's why they call me Candy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, throw it back. Use it to your advantage.
Yep.
Totally. Candy is a funny lady that we found online. She's been on Last Comic Standing, and you're a bit of like a trivia pro, yes?
Yes, I might not know all the answers, but I'm very good at presenting the questions and then scoring people because I host Head Games trivia at least once a week. Mm-hmm.
So you're like a prettier, funnier version of Alex Trebek.
That's what they tell me. Yeah.
Good. That's a good person to be.
Yes.
So we're gonna play some parenting trivia in just a minute, but I first need to ask you about, because we like to talk about our personal lives and the craziness and things that happen, and we usually have parents or grandparents on, but you have a unique situation in that you became a grandparent without ever actually being a parent, basically instantly. Can you tell us how that happened?
I wish I were smart enough to have planned it that way, but when I met my husband, let's fast forward to our first date. He's so funny. He like spilled his guts to me. He wanted me to know anything that would be a possible red flag because he really liked me. And so he told me he had a grown daughter and he had grandkids. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Works for me. I don't have to give birth if I don't want to.
That's right. All of the benefits, it's the cliche for a reason. The grandparents are always like, it's so much more fun because we could just give them back. And do they call you grandma?
Only if they want to get kicked in the crotch.
Okay. So you don't want to be grandma.
No. I would never do that to them, but that is one of my jokes. They call me Candy. They met me as Candy. One of them, actually, they were both still maybe in diapers when I met them. Yeah, wow. And now they're one's a high school senior and one's a junior.
Oh, wow, teenagers.
Yeah,
I'm just venturing into teenage world, and it's rough. My oldest is 13, so. Yeah. You host all these cool trivia nights and people get to have tons of fun. So I thought we could give each other a few trivia questions, and anybody watching want to join in and say something in the comments. So I'm going to give you the first one. I think this one's really easy. This is a true or false question. Okay. Is pregnancy a metabolism booster? True or false?
Ooh, I assume it's false.
I can see why you would think that because of the getting fat part of it. But actually, no, pregnancy is a metabolism booster because the body's like running so many things and everything speeds up, and it's like you're running a marathon all the time, basically, until they graduate high school. So I've heard. We'll see.
As soon as I said it, I was like, yeah, I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, that's okay. Life is about finding out stuff. So now it's your turn to try and stump me and anyone watching who wants to comment.
Okay. This is also true or false. Are babies born without kneecaps?
Wow. I don't know, but that's very interesting. I love stuff like that. I'm going to say it's probably false because I feel like that would be a huge thing to form. Though they don't have they have holes in their head, so maybe they have holes in their knees. I don't know. I'm going to go with false. Does anybody have any guess here? Okay, lay it on me.
It's actually true.
Really?
And here I got this from parenting.firstcry.com. That's my source. Yes,
Love
baby.
that you give your sources.
Oh, you got to cite your sources. In
And
case
Jessica,
anyone-
true. Jessica got it correct.
So yes, babies are born without kneecaps. They instead have cartilage that later turns into bone as they grow and develop.
Wow. So that must be like same as like the Fontanelle situation.
Right.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I have a younger brother, and he was older, and he was kind of like my doll growing up because I was so much older. It's like, oh, I got a baby. And I was helping my mom. I was changing his diaper once, and she had this huge glass, because this was the 70s, glass jar of Vaseline. And I picked it up and dropped it directly on his head. And
We can laugh at that now, right?
we're laughing about it now, but my mom was terrified, and I was terrified because I'd always been told, like, the baby's head is soft, be careful. He's fine. He's a completely intelligent human being, grown now, thank God. I didn't damage him with Vaseline. Okay, so my next question for you, let's see. This is another true or false. Newborns can breathe underwater. True or false?
I think it's true because people give birth in the water. So I'm assuming that they know that's the thing.
Yeah, good guess. Anybody? I at first thought it might be true because of all those stories of like when you want to teach a baby to swim, like you start as young as possible because they're used to being in the water and you just throw them in, and apparently babies can swim. They say, but no, it's a myth. It's not true. They
Oh,
cannot breathe underwater, sadly. But do you know what it is? It's that when they're born, when you have a water birth and they're born underwater, the umbilical cord is still attached, so they're getting their oxygen that way.
okay.
So it's all good. It's not like torture or anything.
Okay. So we also know that babies are born without gills. That's why they
Right.
can't
No
breathe underwater.
gills. If your baby is born with gills, you should probably capitalize on that, like start a TikTok account or something.
Yeah.
Or that
I
baby.
think that's why we're not supposed to eat sushi when you're pregnant. The baby will be born with gills.
You could get gills. No, I thought it was just you could die of some kind of horrible
Yeah,
fish-borne illness. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so do you have a question for me?
Well, we'll do a little multiple choice on this one.
Okay.
What is the actual percentage of babies who are born on their due date? Is it 1 to 2, 4 to 5, or 20%?
Wow. I'm going to guess 20%. I know a lot of babies aren't, but 20% is still not a majority. But I would think that the stats have to be at least that good. I mean, why do they even have such a thing as a due date? So I'm going to go with 20%.
It's actually 4 to 5%.
It? Wow.
Yeah.
So see, if anyone is watching this and you are currently pregnant, stop worrying about the due date because it means nothing pretty much. It means 96% wrong. That's what it means. There's 96% chance it's not actually going to be your due date.
Yes. And then these
Right.
people grow up to have problems with tardiness or chronic earliness.
Right. Well, my youngest child was born pretty early. It was a terrifying experience, but she was fine. And to this day, we're just like, that's just her personality because she just like barges in everything. She just never, she's very impatient. And I guess she just didn't want to wait. So even in birth, she just didn't want to wait, I guess.
She's assertive.
Help. One day you're going to see me waving a flag during one of these lives, like, help, my 8-year-old is
She's
so
8.
assertive. She's 8 now, but she is very, she's very different than me. And it'll serve her well when she's an adult, but right now it makes me want to drink.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally. Okay, let's see. I have one more for you. And what is the most common first word of a baby? In any language, really, pretty much any language.
I assume it's like mama or ma or some kind of
Ma, you would think so, right? Like we birth them, we feed them with our bodies some of the time. So you would think it would be mama. Does anyone else have any ideas what the most common first word for babies is. Now that we're talking about my daughter again, I have her actual literal first word. I'm not joking. Was tortellini.
Oh, wow.
That just goes to show how much we love to eat in my family, I guess.
Impressive.
I think she just repeated the noises she heard, but we were at the table. Everyone was saying, pass the tortellini. I love the tortellini. And all of a sudden, this tiny baby who hadn't said mommy or daddy yet goes, tortellini. We were all like, yeah, we didn't get that on video.
Too cute.
Yeah. But no, of course you assume it would be mom. The most common first word is dada. How unfair is that?
As soon as I said it, I thought, I'm like, it's probably dada or dad,
Yeah.
or, you know, da.
It's probably dada because, you know, I don't know, moms just don't get the credit.
Exactly.
Now, do you feel like as a bonus step grandma, like do you feel that you get a little more credit than if you know you had birthed their parent and all of that?
Sometimes, like, I find it odd when somebody says Happy Mother's Day to me because I'm like, listen, I didn't do the heavy lifting. Like, I feel like I did not earn that. Like, don't, you know, it's okay just because I, you know, am there sometimes. I feed my dogs and walk them and take them to the vet. I'm like, I don't think I've earned that crown. You know? But yeah,
That's
I feel like I might get a little too much
I
credit.
think there in the times when as a mom you're very, very stressed out when somebody like doesn't have kids and then they start talking about, well, I have, you know, I have a puppy. You just want to kill them basically. You're like, yeah, a puppy, you have a puppy.
Right.
You don't have to keep a puppy. You don't have to. but we can love our animals very much. I know that. So you do this trivia thing, but you also perform all around as a stand-up comedian. So tell everybody where they can see you.
So this Friday, I will be in Sunnyvale, California. It's called Off the Rails Brewing Company. It's part of this Cougar Comedy Collective. So if you want to find, if you like, you know, shows with women of a certain age, Cougar Comedy Collective on Instagram or Facebook. I don't think I've been added to the flyer yet. I'm replacing somebody, but I will be there Friday night, 7:30 show. And then like oh gosh, the night before that, Thursday night, I'll be in San Rafael, California. I'm pretty much staying pretty local because I do love these dogs and my husband too. I don't want to be away from them too much. So San Rafael, there's a place called Ounces Outdoors. And my friend who's a comedian mom, Sue Alfieri, is producing that. And it'll be me, her, and some guy. No, I don't know him. Jacob.
Dada. His name is Dada.
Yes, he's a dad. I think he's a dada. But no, the show and find out, right?
Yeah.
Show too. So that'll be
cool.
Yeah. And as of now, I'm at East Brother Beer Company in Richmond every Wednesday hosting trivia. I picked this moment to get a little verklempt.
Verklempt. She's verklempt. And that is like
Got a little tough.
Oh, I think you're just allergic to the idea of dada. That's what it is.
Terrible timing.
No, don't die on us here. Don't die on the internet.
Hearing up too.
Yeah. Well, is assuming the candy lives through this coughing fit, you gotta go see her shows. And she's at Candy Shaw Comedy on Instagram and Facebook. And thank you. I had fun doing some trivia with you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Go check out Candy. Okay. Night.